Hi, I'm Joby from bouldersurk.com and we're here to bring you a series of short videos with some tips and tricks that we think will make your life easier when you're climbing. To check out all of the videos and for more information about any of the products that you've seen, head to our website at bouldersurk.com. In this video we're going to have a look at the different uses for Dyneema slings when trad climbing. So firstly, it's good to understand the differences between the slings that are on offer. Here we've got the two diameters, 11mm and 8mm, and although they both have exactly the same strength rating, 11mm is a little bit more hard wearing, whereas the 8mm is a little bit lighter. We've also got them here in two of the most popular lengths. We've got a 60cm and a 120cm. These start all the way down at quick draw length, so 12cm, all the way up to 4 meters. So there's loads of different ways to use slings, and we're going to show you a few of them. But essentially, they are just a static, fully load-bearing connector. So here's a really great example of a use for a sling. Sometimes a quick draw this long, this is a 60cm sling, can be really handy if you're extending a placement from out under a roof or on a route that wanders around a lot. But it's pretty cumbersome to have a quick draw this long hanging from your harness. So what you can do is make it an extendable quick draw. Pass one of the carabiners through the other and clip the remaining two bits of the sling. Then you've got a quick draw which isn't any longer than your others, and to use it you simply take the rope end quick carabiner, take it off and clip any one of these three bits of sling, doesn't matter which one, and pull it tight. There's loads of different ways of carrying slings. We're going to show you a couple of the most popular and simplest. The first, which works really well with 60cm slings, is to grab the carabiner in one hand and put your finger through the other end of the loop and twist. You want to keep going until it's fairly tightly wound, and then clip the carabiner back through where your finger was at the other end of that loop, and then it all coils together to form a fairly neat sling for carrying on your harness. When you want to use it, you just unclip one end and it's there. This also works with 120cm slings, but you want to double them over first and then start coiling, otherwise they end up hanging down by your knees somewhere. The other way of carrying a sling, if you're not going to be wearing a pack, is to put it over your shoulder like this. It's worth remembering that you should put your 120cm slings on first, joined with a carabiner in the end, and then put your 60cm slings on the opposite shoulder over the top of your 120. That way you can always get to your 60s and your 120s. So we've just spotted this really great example of a thread. If we were on a route and wanted to use this, we'd loop a sling through and clip it back in. Then we could clip our ropes to that, and as long as the rock was solid and there was no sharp edges, it's a pretty bomber bit of gear. So this is an example of how we can use a 120cm sling to equalize pieces of gear on a belay. As long as all the pieces of gear are close to hand, it's a really simple and neat method. Now I'm going to show you a simple method of keeping your ropes organised at a belay using another 60cm sling. Take a sling with a carabiner and clip it to one of your pieces of gear, and then make sure the carabiner is opening upright. Then we're going to start pulling up the rope, making some coils. You can make the first coils really quite long and then start to get shorter as you go on. So now we've coiled up all the slack in our rope. Using this sling, we can clip these coils into our belay and start bringing up our second like we normally would. So now when our climber moves away from the belay, because of these coils, we can pay rope out smoothly and without any tangles. Here's another way of keeping your ropes organised at a belay, this time if you're at the bottom of a route. Obviously if you're at the bottom of a route you haven't used your ropes yet and they're still going to be coiled up separately, so you want to keep them separate if you haven't got a ledge to flake them out on. All you need to do is tie a knot in the middle of your sling, then your first rope can be coiled onto there, then your second rope can just be coiled onto the second half of the sling, and they're both kept separate. You can lark's foot a 60cm sling to your belay loop as a simple way of clipping in at belays. So in your standard rack you'll probably find 7 or 8 60cm slings divided up between staying on your harness to use on threads or spikes on the route, some used as extendable quick draws, and some for lark's footing to your harness and clipping into the belay as a second. Then you'll probably have a couple of 120cm slings used for each climber's belay on a multi-pitch route, and then probably just the one 240cm sling for equalising lots of pieces of gear, slinging big blocks, or setting up top ropes.